Hello and welcome to the On the Nod Pod. I'm your host, Will Rooney, and today I am joined by our tipsters, Paul Martin and Josh Brady. Evening, lads. How are we?
Hello. Good evening.
And we also have a new tipster joining us today, making his debut all the way across the Irish Sea. It is Darren Butler. Darren, thanks very much for coming on with us.
You're welcome. Looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Just to get to know you a little bit, like we've spoke to our previous guests about and our previous tipsters. So Darren, a little bit about you. What's your favourite horse or present that you've watched run?
Oh, what's my favourite horse? Oh God, that's a really good question. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. I tell you, one horse I did love last couple of seasons was St. Calvados. Didn't pull up any trees, but I've seen it on a course a couple of times, and I just thought it was a beautiful horse in the ring, and that. I don't tip horses by how they look because they never win.
No, definitely not. It's nice to hear another left field one rather than your Corso Stars or Denmans or that. Well, we'll get on to the action then, lads, of the past week. And one horse that did pull up a few trees was Epatante in the fighting fifth at Newcastle on a return after winning the champion hurdle. Paul, we'll come to you first. I mean, what was that drift all about on the exchange, first of all? Because anyone has backed it earlier in the week, they must have been frightened that it was going to get turned over, mustn't they?
It was crazy words. I made it look foolish now, but there was absolutely no logic behind it. You couldn't think of anything behind it. But the one thing you'd say when a Henderson horse drifts on the exchanges, as you say, you're normally heading for Skid Row. But no, it started solid, didn't it? The solidified back on Friday, Saturday, so it was more than midweek. But yeah, to say there would have been a few nervous punters, but they never had a sweat. Did they come off? She's absolutely electric. So we touched on the mares a lot, I think, last week. She made a mockery of that, and looking at it there, 6-4 for the champion hurdle. Looking at the field there, there's absolutely nothing. I can't say we would have to start now to beat her. 6-4. Couldn't play an anti-post now, but there's absolutely nothing in that field to challenge. Absolutely electric.
Josh O'Reilly's a good yardstick, isn't it? But she absolutely put it to the sword. I mean, it was never in doubt coming up the home straight.
No, it started off eventful, didn't it, the race, and then it just pretty much just turned into a procession, really, didn't it? Especially with all the early drama, and then after that, wasn't phased, just sat behind, and then the jockey just went, go on, show us what you can do, and it just turned into a procession.
It was just a change of gears. It was like a flat horse literally loomed up alongside, and Coleman pressed the button, and away she went without ever getting serious at any point. Highly impressive. So
we all know how good she is, but at 6-4, Darren, you wouldn't be backing her for the champion hurdle now, would you?
I probably wouldn't now at 6-4, because I think on the day, unless we've got to expect something to come out and at least look half decent between now and March, and I think 6-4 is very, very tight. I think I'd imagine on the day I couldn't see her getting too much. She's not going to win anything easier than she has done, so I don't think she's going to be any more impressive than we've seen. So I would be holding off at 6-4. You'd be looking for a bit of value, maybe each way or that, but it is hard to see anything at the moment stopping her. That's for sure. But I just feel that she may just be in around that price, or just a little shorter on the day. Maybe the bookies will offer out.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to do the mug double Envoy Allen and Epatante at this point. So if I get a few quid at the weekend, I'll have my first plus. They look home and hose, don't they? So I think you're getting the double just for them to turn up. Once they do turn up, I think it's a formality. So if I get anything in the kitty this weekend, I might wade into the waters there.
They'll just have a prep run between now and then, and that'll just be a little freshen up, show what it can do, and then see the Cheltenham.
Well, another impressive mare that won last weekend, another Grade 1 in the Hatton's Grace at Fairyhouse was Honeysuckle. Darren, you're on that side of the Irish Sea. It won at that 2 mile 4 intermediate distance, didn't it? I mean, what do you think the plan will be for Honeysuckle in the long term?
I think just not knowing Willie Mullins, I mean, we'd all probably love to see her take on Epatante in the champion hurdle. But he will probably go. He'll go probably the mares, I think, with her, and you know, it's hard to see anything beating her. I mean, she won well. I didn't think she was overly exuberant or anything like that. She did well. She wins a lot of races like that. I think she could be one of them mares that could end up with, you know, a string of wins, but maybe never meeting anyone, you know, really grade one. I'd like to see her. I mean, she is in the betting for the champion hurdling around 16-1. I think she's only there to make up bookies' numbers, because if you look at the champion hurdle field, the majority, you know, I think probably about 4 or 5 out of the top 10 aren't even probably going to run in it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I thought she was good. I mean, she is in. I just don't. I think she's going to be one of them mares that he's going to win lots of mares races with, and you know, a win is a win, and he just seems, you know, he has so many other top horses as well that he can afford, you know. And I suppose if you're an owner, they're quite happy to be winning grade ones.
Exactly.
Paul, loads of action over Fairy House on Sunday. We'll just touch on it. You touched on Emboyal, and there was obviously Ballyadam and Zana here. I mean, Gordon Elliott's got the top 3 in a triumph betting now. What was your takeout from that day?
That triumph looks it's going to be like another cracker here. I was excited for it last year. There was a couple of good horses, and then this year more of the same. As you say, the 3 Elliott ones, I'll just separate them. He's going to really run. Surely he won't run all 3 of them. He'll try and separate them out, but it's a nice problem to have. Honeysuckle, yeah, she was entitled to win. She did it okay. Ran up pump. He ran on nice. He'd be the one to take out of that for the stayers to have another crack at that. And with Honeysuckle, I think they've made it clear they're going for the mares. No questions asked. But it was, I touched on it last week. Obviously got the race wrong, but Constantista was very, very impressive last Saturday. So she may give it something to think about in that mare's hurdle. So she won't have it all her own way if that turns up in that form. But
yeah.
And Josh, anything for you from last weekend that caught your eye that you've noted down?
No, I do agree with the lads there. I think Darren hit the nail on the head, didn't he? Over Honeysuckle, it'll be a horse that wins a lot of grade ones, will it? Meet the likes of Epatante and horses like that, maybe not. And I think it's just the way of the world now, isn't it? Would you want to risk your horse against a potential superstar when you can go and clean up elsewhere? And when grade ones come to and get the money. And if you were an owner, I think you'd probably be thinking along them lines, wouldn't you? So, yeah, I think that unfortunately just the way of the world. Will they ever meet? Maybe not this year, maybe next year, but it's be interesting, won't it?
That's the thing, isn't it? When a race at Cheltenham, you don't care what it is. Could be the Everton race. It's just be a winner at the festival, so you can see the logic. Just Ballyadam. I'm not too sure as he got the gears for the Supreme. Would he not be better suited by the Ballymore? That was my take. That was Ballyadam.
Oh, I was really impressed by Angolo in that race. I think I texted you the way that stayed on. It looked like it was struggling. The third in the Rich Ricky colours.
Yeah.
It looked like it was struggling, and then it just stayed on and on. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing that stay and stepping up and trip.
Yeah, and also just to say, Willie Mullins in the grade ones, he just doesn't seem to have them spot on at the moment. He is picking up. You know, he's picking up grade 2s and 3s and plenty of other bumpers and that, but he just doesn't seem to be firing on grade 1s at the moment. So I do think something like that can be taken out of it and watched as a tracker as well. Yeah.
Good stuff, lads. Well, the grade 1 action continues thick and fast, doesn't it, this weekend, because we're going to Sandown for the Tingle Creek Chase at 2:25. It is on ITV Racing, and we have the return of Altior, who obviously missed the champion chase and couldn't defend his crown, but Politolog took full advantage, didn't he, that day in March at Cheltenham. Granatine in it, Rouge Vif as well, who was very impressive in handicap at Cheltenham in October. Josh, we'll come to you first. Is Altior banker material 4 to 5, or can you see him getting turned over and being a bit of a slow burner to be right for Cheltenham in March?
No, I can see him winning, to be honest with you. I wrote down on my notes Altior next, and that's probably all I've got to say. And to be honest, I think it was a political. We'll give it a good run, but I just can't. I can't see it having enough for Altior, to be honest with you. It's back at its best distance, isn't it? So for me, yeah, it's Altior next. Make it easy.
Doesn't look a bad division, the 2 mile, does it, Paul, this season?
No, there's a couple of good sorts. Say, look at the race here. I agree with Josh. Altior's going to win it. I think there's 2 shortish favourites. Altior, seeing the Racing Post put a vote out, Altior or Santini, who's the better favourites? Not even close. Altior should take this. For the forecast, I'd throw Rouge Vif in. Politolog, I can't fault him, but he's just one of them horses that you can never take to. Greenatine, don't think he's at this level yet. Possibly won't ever be at the level. So, yeah, I would go Altior in a route and Rouge Vif to tail him home for the place money.
Darren, in terms of the Irish contenders in the 2 mile division, I mean, there's some good horses in your neck of the woods, isn't there? Chacun Porso, Chacun Forswear, got Faca Duderie, Notebook. So,
yeah,
it's not going to be a formality for Altior if he bounces back to his best this season.
No, I don't think so, and I think Chacun is running on. Well, he's entered on Sunday as well, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Yeah, I'd be with the boys on this. I looked into this race so much tonight, looking to try to get Altior B, and it's just you just keep coming back to the only thing that's going to be Altior if he's not himself, and he only needs to be 80% probably at this rate. The others, there's young horses in there that could be half decent, but I really don't think there's the top grade one in there apart from him. So yeah, it's what I would be concerned about with that race is does anyone know what the ground is what they're forecasting?
It's said that there's rains in drop, but it's not going to be a war of attrition kind. So it'll be soft, but
good to soft at the moment.
Won't be a stamina test.
Okay, but then because the likes of Rouge Vif, Harry Whittington said he won't run if it goes any more than soft. That horse needs good ground, he reckons, so it could cut up. But I agree with you. I think the Irish hand this year, we've all been Altior's bridesmaid for too long now, and I think I think Politolog won. I don't like calling championship races weak because you've got to win them and you got to turn up fit and you got to do it. And he had his day out and it was great to see him win. But I think it'll be a stronger one this year for sure.
Definitely. A 3 votes for Altior then, not very imaginative, but it's difficult to come on. And earlier in the card, the 150 is rated Altior won on his way to grace as a novice. It was the Henry VIII Novice Chase, which all 6 runners in it are all unbeaten over fences, which makes it quite unique. Josh, will come to you first because we've got All Mankind, Hitman in there, a couple of others. Who do you like?
To be honest, it's some race, isn't it? I mean, I was looking to it before, and you can make a case probably for 3 or 4 of them easily. And if I'm honest, it's kind of like a standout race of the day for me, to be fair, because obviously with the likes of Altior, that's shown up, isn't it? So I'll be probably sitting down to this and the Becher Chase, I think, be my favourite Saturday. I do like All Mankind, if I'm being totally honest. But like I said, you can make probably a case for 2 or 3 of them there, to be honest with you. But I just think All Mankind, the way it won last time, it one of the cancers in their first time out at Warwick last time. Over 2 miles, good ground, so it's probably going to be good to soft at the weekend the most. So it's not going to be too much of a change for it. But like I say, you've got the Hitman behind it, who I think Paul fancies. It made a bit of a blunder last time, and a couple of fences, but it's still won easily. So it's just probably just a case of if it's jumping holds up, it's probably going to be there, isn't it? And then you've got the Tizard number as well as Wallen again. Won impressively last time. It was eased last time out at Cheltenham, which you don't see many poor horses, should I say, being eased at Cheltenham on the run-in there to win. So it was, to be totally honest, you can make a case for all 3 of them there, to be honest. I think we're going to be a bit of value. I'll probably say as well a 10-3 would stick out a little bit more, but the betting is tight and you could wake up Saturday and that gets pushed into 2-1. I'm looking at the moment, Pazzi Powers 9-4, All Mankind and Hitman, and then towards the wall and then behind it with 10-3. So
Darren,
I'll stick my neck on the line as well as a Wallen.
Yeah, I like everyone. This is just a proper Group 1 for a Saturday, innit? It's something to really get excited about. I really like Hitman. I know you're taking a lot on kind of what he done in France and how good is that. I thought, Paul Nicholls doesn't always win with French horses like that first time out. You often hear him say he likes to introduce them to the race course, introduce them to UK racing, and he does never be in any hurry to get them out and win. And like, he won that day, pulling more than trees, and the second last fence. I mean, he literally took that out of the ground as well, and still stead on his feet. I think as a 4-year-old, he could be very exciting. And I'm nearly going for him on the basis that he won so easy on his first time out, that he could be well tuned up now.
You say he takes his time with his French horse. He didn't do that with all Petite Swan, did he? In the Coral Hurdle a couple of years ago, did he? What that was. Paul, are you only back in the Hitman because you're a Ricky Hatton fan?
I wish. I've just finished watching the video of the Pacquiao. Hatton's not my. He's not on. But less said, so we've already so let's not have Ricky Hatton to the libel list. But yes, it's Hitman for me. I think he's absolutely intrigued. This, as the lad said there, this is the race of the day for me. Absolute cracker. As I say, it's Hitman for me. The French breds, so I don't know where Nicholls gets these, but he just seems to reel them off every season, just finds them from France and say they come up here an absolute machine. So I think this is another one he's got here. Said on debut of Foslas, he was against the good sort, Highway 102 for Chris Gordon, albeit it fell twice now, so you could possibly argue with me on that, but I do think he's not a bad yardstick. But regardless of the fall, the race was over for from out. Absolutely, Highway 102 was going hammer and tongs, and this guy was literally Twiston Davis was literally was stoneless on him. He had that clattered over the second last, but other than that, I thought his jumping was perfect, economical, slick over them, didn't leave any time up in the air. He flew through them. So I'm not a big expert on action, so I said take it from with a pinch of salt. But I do think he looks like he'll be a bit better if there's a sound of service. He looks like he's a bit of a speed horse. So hopefully, if the ground is stiff, they avoid most of the rain, which I think they will here. I think he can take this. I think that what makes the race is this GA law against all mankind. Are they going to go and take each other on? Because say both of them like it from the front, more so GA law. So say you'd have reservations if they take each other on and set it up for the closer, or someone tucked in behind. Eldorado Allen, say it done me a favour when Gumball fell, as I was on him at Cheltenham. Without would he have won without the fall? I don't think so. So he'd possibly the one who would be willing to take on out of the market principles, the top four in the betting. I'd put a line through Eldorado Allen. I'm not sold on him. But yeah, it's Hitman for me, and say race of the day this for me.
I don't often tip a horse. I'm going to tip All Mankind. I think that stiff test of jumping at Warwick will stand him in good step. Down the railway fences at Sandown. We'll go on to Aintree then, lads. And I believe, Josh, you're absolutely at pains that you're not attending when you could have had a ticket, I believe.
Yeah, as I said before, my missus is doing an annual Christmas shopping trip. So it's absolutely scuppered me. So it's me and my little man. I'll probably go round to my nan. She lives on Aintree Lane, which is the canal and then the race course. So I might take him up to Melon Rose and let him see the horses run across there. They love that. And then bomb it back down to my nan to see the finish. But yeah, I'm absolutely gutted, to be honest. What a day it is. About 3 degrees. The sun doesn't shine all day, but what a day.
Are you going to reveal the story about your bad turn for the worst that you took at Aintree a couple of years ago?
Oh yeah, it was I come back from Mexico. It was on the Thursday. It was 30 degrees, and decided, in good faith, I'll go to Aintree to Becher Chase day. And it was about 3 degrees the whole day. I wasn't back in work until the Wednesday, and on Monday or Tuesday, I took a turn for the worse. And I was ill for about 2 weeks after it. So it must have been a change in conditions. So yeah, last time I went to Becher Chase, it wasn't too memorable, unfortunately, due to the weather conditions, which put me off slightly. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm going to run down to Mellon Road. I think watch them cross over the road, and then I'll run down then and see the finish.
Well, it'd be great.
The National. This is the highlight of it. This is the one that the seasoned Aintree locals. Like the fixture list when you look for when do we play Manchester United, when do we play, when's the derby. I think this is the one that particularly the locals. This is the one that they always pencil in on the racing calendar. So it's always a cracker meeting, and it always coincides with Sandown. So it's a great day.
Always flies under the radar this meeting, doesn't it? I think
because the Sandown, exactly. No, it's an absolute cracker.
It is indeed an absolute cracker, and we are over the national fences, of course. In the half one is the Becher Handicap Chase. Josh, a horse made famous by the evergreen Hello Bud, who's your favourite horse of all time, I believe. Are we going to have someone who can be half as good as Hello Bud in this field, who can win it?
So don't get me emotions going. It's I still got shivers down the spine thinking of Hello Bud clinging on. 14 years of age, Sam Twister Davis getting every little bit out of it. But yeah, it's I absolutely love the race, to be honest with you. I think because it's over the national fences, and like I said, my nan and granddad is literally backs onto the race course, so every Grand National Festival and stuff, I was there all weekend and stuff, so it gets me my blood flowing. It is a shame, really. The fences aren't the same, are we? And we all know that. I think over the last 5 years, we've seen a significant change in the fences. Obviously, for better or for worse, I think obviously if you're the casual fan and you're watching it, more horses are getting round now, and then obviously surviving. But I think from a purist point of view, the jumping and stuff, it's not as much of a test anymore, is it? Unfortunately. So, but yeah, it's a very good race, to be honest with you. I think it's quite a hot renewal, isn't it? To be honest with the Beaches, I mean, you give a shout at 2 or 3 horses in there. I think last year's 1 and 2, you've got Walk in the Mill and Kimberlite Candy as well. They're the main ones that stick out. Walk in the Mill's already has a reappearance at Ascot, midfield, but not a bad reappearance to get them geared for this now. Kimberlite Candy, it'll be its first appearance. So, would you back that first time over 3 miles to around the national course? I'm not too sure, to be honest. I do love Walk in the Mill. Did they finish second this year in the virtual national?
Exactly, another 20 yards and it got up.
Yeah, me and Ant had it. Me and Ant had backed it, and we ended up getting stopped. Another 20 yards. It was finishing like a train, wasn't it, in the virtual national? So, yeah, I do fancy Walking the Mill, to be honest. It's had a reappearance, good reappearance under its belt. It knows its way around the course. It was a good winner last year, so I would be backing that. An honourable mention maybe to Ramses Tell as well. If Ant was on, he'd probably be spewing it one last time out. I think we've all backed it to the boards. Then had a bit of a bad spell and it's come out. Will it jump defences? I'm unsure. Of a bit of each way value as well, potentially. You see it's 14-1 now. Minella Celebration won at Aintree last time out, obviously on the mile May course, but it won over the same distance, 3 mile 2. And it won quite easily as well. It was really impressive on its reappearance. So, to be honest, if it jumps, it's got a really good chance, to be fair. Especially how easily it won last time. So there's a bit of value in that for me, to be honest, the 14-1 as well. But like I say, I will be back and Walking the Mill. I absolutely love the horse, and a bit of each way value as well. Manella Celebration for me.
Darren, come to you next and you solve this puzzle for us.
Yeah, well, yeah. I have to say I'm so jealous listening to you guys talking about being at the Beachers, because for me, this meeting and this race is really what gets the whole Christmas racing calendar going for me. I just, the National's always been special, so to see them going around, before April and that is just like, I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I think it's interesting that only one horse in the last 10 years has won carrying over 11 stone, and that was Black Lion, who could have carried 12.5 stone probably and won that year. So I'm looking at that and thinking, it's still a tough race to win with a high weight. I like Q-Star Savola, very low weight. I mean, we're talking about 10-4 here. And it won the Ultimate Handicap in Cheltenham. Now I know it's been on and off the course and that, but it won that race, and it's now carrying 5 pound lower in this handicap. So I really like it, and I didn't see what price it was this evening. Now I know Is it? Yeah. It was bigger during the week. I didn't even do it, to be honest with you. But I really like it. From the others, I think again the Cliff Horse Ramsey. I've every time he wins, I miss him. Every time he loses, I back him.
Join the club. You're in the right place.
Yeah. So and I'm just thinking 11-6 on his back, and I'm not sure defenses. I know he only had one go at the national and he pulled up, and you can't fault any horse for doing that. But I just wouldn't be sure of him getting around, maybe in his own time and walking the mill. Obviously, the fact that he's had his warm up and looks laid out for it again. And one that I would take a good eye on without backing is Jesse Harrington's horse. Mm-hmm. I actually feel like this is a warm up for the Grand National. I'd be very interested in how it runs and how it jumps, because I've a feeling they could be lining up for a run in the National. So I certainly wouldn't be backing it, because if that's what they're at, they're certainly not going to want to win. Even though it's a good pot, it is a good pot to win. But I think Jessie now, every year you wonder, is this the last year? Will she retire soon or whatever? And I just think a national win would be, special. So I just would be interested. It would be something I would take out of how well it goes tomorrow, and maybe then have a look anti-post for next year.
Definitely one worth noting down. A very good spot from yourself. And Paul, who do you think will be passing the winning post first? How far is the winning post from your house? About a quarter of a mile, would you say, from your back garden?
Yeah, it depends. I can go out the back way, and it's nearly so. Yeah, it's about 200 metres, I would say. Literally stone's throw away. That might be my plan for Saturday. Get a ladder out and get a pair of weight and save myself a few quid. I'll just watch it from the garden. Weather dependent, of course. In regards to the race, as like Josh said, I was looking at Minella Celebration myself. Loves it here. It's a very good strike rate at the course. My one concern, it's up £12 from that route in October. And we are asking a 10-year-old here to defy a career high mark. So that would slightly put the knockers on that for me, but again, wouldn't rule it out. Same with Walking the Mill, he's going to run his race, he'll be there or thereabouts, but single figures, I'm not going to take that. It's a clean sweep for fancy for Ramsey de Talise. I say him and Yarlanki had a ding-dong at Cheltenham, pair of them pull 35 lengths clear of a useful field. Nobby was getting that weight that day, so you could argue that the weight is what won him, but he gets the weight here again. So I think they hold that again, but whether or not he'll... The other one thing I'd say about his Aintree run last time, the reins did snap, so Scudamore had no chance when it had to go at the National, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. That wouldn't bother me. So he would be my NB in the race, my next best, but the one I came down on for my main bet is give me a copper for Nichols. It has been a bit of a hype horse. It was ordered, I think it was the Ultimate in 2019. It was the talking horse for that. Backed in all throughout the winter. Drifted on the day. So it went off about 9-10 to 1, but it was about 6-5 to 1 at one point for it. Fell, never ran its race, so that was a gamble stuff. But it's a 10-year-old. It's had 11 races. So as ridiculous as it sounds, I don't know if there is scope for improvement, if Nichols can dig something out of him despite it being 10. He hasn't been seen since December last year. He's had the wind up to get his breathing right, and he comes straight into here. I think we're going to avoid the majority of the rain, so it shouldn't be too heavy for him, because I don't think he wants it too heavy. So soft, goodish ground will be okay for him. 10 to 1, Sam Twist and Davis up. I think it's another Saturday prime time winner for Nichols.
Bullish call that. And in the 240 at Aintree, we have that Many Clouds Chase with a grade 2 affair over 3 miles and 1 furlong. And this has been a fantastic race since it was brought into the cards, hasn't it? We always seem to have a small field, but a field of quality, and that's what we have again here. Last season's Gold Cup second, Santini, 2018 winning, Native River throws on, so impressive at Cheltenham in October, and is now going to go for the Gold Cup. Darren, will go to you first on this one. Who would you be backing?
I'd be backing Frodon if I'm having a bet in it, but I think it's a great race just to sit and enjoy. Definitely. I'll definitely go with Frodon on the basis of the run under the belt and the fitness. I have a feeling Frodon this side of Christmas could be a good horse to follow, and Santini could easily be the one then going forward, definitely. But yeah, it'd be interesting seeing Native River. Wouldn't it be lovely to see him come back to his best and put up a good show as well? But I think it'd be a really good race. You know, you just wonder who's going to take it on. Will it be set up? But you know, I think Santini obviously looks the quality horse. But just, you know, first time out, Cheltenham. I know they'll probably, you know, they're thinking Cheltenham with them all, you know, including Frodon. But there's a lot of big races possibly to be won with Frodon before the championships races all begin, I think.
Paul, I think we were only laughing the other day how easy Native River won this race last year when Mike Bite fell and it was given an easy lead out of Blackcourt and it just absolutely cruised home, didn't it? It was a racecourse gallop.
We were saying where it was literally, if it was a 10 to 11 shot, Mike Bite was 6 to 7. It was literally the easiest, almost double your money you'll ever have. And then even with Mike Bite still going, and then the cherry on the ice cake is when, well, it's not a good thing because you'd never want a horse before, but it's, you know what I mean, it made its task easier. And then you were walking to the payout window at a circuit through, all you have to do was get over. So yeah, be surprised if we get one of them for a long time, another jail case like that. The race, I echo what Darren said, I won't be having a bet on it myself. It's an absolute cracker of a race. Love watching Native River, the way Dickie throws in the fences, joy to behold. Frodon is so, with Frodon being in there, because they're both prominent races, so it just makes me wonder, will he set it up for Santini to pick them off if they went hard in front, Frodon and Native River. So if Santini's won every season, first time out, so fitness wouldn't worry me. So say no bets, 5 to 4 Santini. If I had to have a gun to, I'd probably take the 5 to 4, but I'm just looking forward to this race. Say it's absolute cracker. You can run it 10 times and the 3 of them wanted to win it 4 times and the other 2 win it 3. So it's one to watch there for me.
Josh, should we having a bet in this?
I'll pop, you know what, I think someone might have alluded to before. I might just do the Santini LTO double, to be honest with you. It's 5 to 4. It might go off at evens or just touch odds on the day. I do like Native River, but every time, I don't know, it seems to get to that big race, it kind of just lets me down, to be honest with you. I think we mentioned the other day that me and Paul just alluded to there, it was just a race course gallop last time, wasn't it? So it wasn't really much of a race. Santini's second in the Gold Cup, I think, stands out. Like Paul says, we've got to give a mention to Frodon, haven't we? It's always there, regardless. It's always there. It will always run its race and give you the good race. But I honestly think Santini's just going to have too much for them. So I'll probably just double that up without yours, I'm going to be honest. But sure, what a race, again, do you know what I mean? It's a cracking race to keep an eye out on. Because like I say, it's kind of, it'll plot the course for the rest of the season and then you're potentially looking at the Gold Cup winner. So
Frodon just seems to be that knocking on the door of an A-lister, but he just can't break. Joe, he's like a very good, he's like a B+, A-man. He's just, he's not on the top, Joe, that he always, it's hard to explain. He's
another very Bristol to my.
Yeah, maybe so, yeah, good comparison.
I wouldn't even put it in. It's a very...
Something, isn't it?
I couldn't imagine. It's just, it's hard. It's hard to explain. He's a very, very good horse, but is he against these two? It's, you know what I mean? I think he's just a little tiny bit off these, but
reminds me of like Spurs a bit in the football. They're always there, but just never really do anything enough, and then he just fades away at the last hurdle. So
we'll be talking January when we.
If listeners aren't aware, Josh is a big Marine fan and Paul claims to be a huge Tottenham Hotspur fan. He's had more teams in his lifetime now. That's hot meal. So Huddersfield, Crystal Palace are just a couple. That's Saturday done, lads. We'll go on to Sunday. We've got actually from.
I've just got one for Saturday. Sorry.
Go on. The floor's yours.
It is at Aintree. It's in the Lister Mares Hurdle. It's scholastic for Joseph O'Brien. Again, I'm a sucker for an Irish raider coming over. He's 4 to 1. He goes against the favourite in there is Megan, 13 to 8. But this one here, he's been behind. But we touched on the Triumph briefly. Don't get me wrong, she couldn't lay a glove on them, but she was in that company behind Duffelcoat, and then the favourites, can't pronounce the name for Elliot. So she's been in that, beating 10 lengths, but still in them races. But the kicker for me, there's actually a listed race for mares at Punchestown on the Sunday, and that's over 2 mile free. This is over 2.2. So it's not, there's hardly any difference in it. So I would argue the listed race at Punchestown is more competitive than this. I just thought it was interesting why Joseph sends it, comes here when he could arguably, he has a good chance if he ran it on the Sunday in Ireland, closer to home. So I just thought that was very interesting that he comes over here to try and get some black type with her. I think you can take the favourites on. So 4-1 Scholastic it is. I'll be having a few quid on that come Saturday.
Definitely would agree. That's a superb spot, that, Paul. I won't be rude then, lads. Have you got anything else on Saturday, or shall we move on to Sunday?
No, Sunday, I'm happy.
Yeah, Sunday.
Well, Sunday, we've got action from Huntington and Punchestown again on ITV Racing. And the first race we'll start with is the Peterborough Chase at Huntington, which is their race of the season, really, isn't it? We haven't got decks just yet, but it looks like it's going to be a decent field. Josh, I'm going to ask you a question first. How many times do you think Top Notch will be described as Little Top Notch?
Little Top Notch. It was like when Frank Lampard took over Derby, wasn't it? And Frank Lampard's Derby County. So it's similar to that. I think every time it's mentioned, you've got to get Little in front of it. The parade ring, it's Little at all these horses. At the fence, it's Little at these fences. So yeah, it's absolutely spot on. I don't think we'll ever see the end of it.
Do you think Little Top Notch can do it?
You know what? I absolutely love that horse, to be honest. I got onto it a few years ago. It is in my tracker. It went disappeared for a while, didn't it, to be honest with you? I mean, its last run was January, and then it hasn't been seen since then. So it's been off the track nearly a year. Do you know what? I do love the horse. If I remember correctly as well, I think it has a run around this time last year as well. Will it win? It's got a very good chance, to be honest. If we're looking at the fields, a couple of other decent horses in there. I like Simply the Bet as well. I think for Harry Whittakin, 12-1. I'm not in it. It was 6 last time I was at Cheltenham, but a good reappearance run, and I do like the horse. So I think if we're going to go for a little bit of value, Simply the Bet, I think it's around 12 or 14-1 at the moment. But we've got quite a good few horses in there. I mean, we've got Henry's favourite horse, Out Dancers, in there. You've got Mr. Fisher. So it's a really good renewal, to be honest. But I think I'll be looking for a bit of value. Was it back Top Notch first time out at that price? D1, not particularly. I think I'll look for a bit of value and Simply the Bets.
Dan, it looks like a couple of the Paddy Power runners who finished down the field are going to be in this affair, doesn't it?
Yeah. It looks a really good race. I love the idea of Nutswell being in there with trainer Anne Hamilton. It's got 5 out of 6 wins on the trot. You just love to see trainers like that getting a good horse. I like actually this would be probably one of my bets of the weekend is Paul Nicholls' Dulles, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's only 7-year-old, and it's actually going. From what I can see, it's the first time it's going over 2 miles on Sunday, and I'd be very interested to see how Rouge Biff goes the day before, because Dulles was finishing nowhere near it, but it was definitely finishing on strongly until I made a mistake at I think it was the second last, and it took a bit of wind out of him. But I would certainly be very interested in how Rouge Drift goes, and then see maybe invest a little on Dulles. I think Nicholls is going really well. He's a 25% strike rate for the last 2 weeks, which is exceptional, and we know he can pick one out for the big races like this. I think Top Notch definitely probably is the one to beat. But I will come down on Dulles just on the basis that he did look like he was staying on, and the extra I think is a 2 mile free on Sunday.
I think it is, yeah, 2 mile free, yeah, it's just over 2 miles.
I think the extra 3 furlongs could, he's 7-year-old and he's only going over 2 miles for the first time on Sunday. So I'd be very interested in seeing how he does.
Dollars for Darren and who's for Paul?
It's I haven't had much of a chance to look strongly at Sunday. I would say if there's one improver in the field, it'll be Vinicius, Fanny and Destreval. Had no chance of the winner Magic Saint at the last time out. Looking at it, this top notch, happy to take. Seems to have been, I can't believe it's only 9. Seems to have been around forever.
Remember that Triumph Hurdle with Peace and Co. And what was the other McManus horse? And it looked like a cracking renewal, and it just turns out to be woeful, didn't it?
It went off the one, and it's bounced back the last 2 seasons. It's just a nice horse, but it couldn't have it here. No real strong opinion. This is literally blind dart on Fanny and Destreval. I just hope if there's one improver in there, it's going up in trip. Not the greatest price as well, 5 to 1, but if I've got any money left over from Saturday, I'll have a few quid on there if it stays at that. That's if it's said no jockey declared for it yet, so but it has been nibbled in, so it looks like it is going. So no strong opinion, tentative Fanny and Destreval.
Fanny and Destreval. Hargan was the other horse in that Triumph Hurdle that looked so strong at the time, but it was poor. And we've also got the John Dakin over in Punchestown in the 140. Darren, given it at your neck of the woods, you can go first on this one.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the declarations, we were talking about the race of the day on Saturday. This could be the race of the weekend. If they all turn up, you kind of, it doesn't always this early in the season work out that way. But yeah, I just can't wait to see it. I think Chacon Persois will be probably the winner if he turns up. But even looking at the likes of Sam Crow, just like, just to see him back on the track and racing at this level is just brilliant. I love that horse. But again, is he a talking horse? Is he a champion? I'm not quite sure. I think Chacon and Battle Over Dion would be the two for me in that race. And maybe just keep an eye on Sam Crow, because if he's not up to this level, it'd be interesting to see what Gordon Elliott does with him, because you just wouldn't know where he'll turn up and what races he will turn up in as well.
Min, the Ryanair winner, is the current 15 to 8 favourite. Paul, is that value given that he's a Grade 1 winner at Cheltenham, or would you be thinking Willie Mullins has got bigger days ahead for him?
Yeah, to go with the latter there, certain this won't be the end game here. I don't think I was looking at this race before. Paddy Power had Chacon Persois at 20s in the betting, so it's obviously, I don't think he's going based on that.
Okay, yeah.
He would have been, as you said, I totally agree, would have been in my place, but literally checked 25 minutes ago and he was 20 to 1, so it mustn't be going there. But if they've got the price wrong, trading error, then obviously I'd relook at it. But I like the other one you mentioned, Battle Over Dion. Thought he was really impressive last time out. He was up against Sam Crow, easy game. I think he was strong in the bet. He was literally about 8-7 to 1 possibly, and then he was getting nibbled in all day, and a little plunge before the off. And he was absolutely awesome on that day. Going up again, another gear here, and say this is the race of the weekend for me. Really looking forward to it. Chris's Dream. We were talking about Frodon. If he was ever going to win a Group 1, I think it was that one last time out where he had to win. He's a nice horse, but he just finds one too good each time. Allerhouse, he's interesting, and I think that Rishberg's intriguing for Joseph. It'd be nice to see that go. He was pretty well fancy for the Arkle and hasn't been seen for a while. But yeah, Battle Over Dion, run under this belt, beat easy game in Sam Crow last time. I think, don't get me wrong, Sam Crow's strict fitter for it, but there weren't any fluke about it. Battle Over Dion for me, and absolute cracker of John Durkin.
Couldn't agree more. And Josh, anything to add on that?
No, I actually give the lads a Battle Over Dion. I think the hat-trick on that one, so yeah. Good
stuff. We'll wrap it up, lads, by getting a nap from each of you to make it tricky for listeners over the weekend. And Darren, seeing as it's your debut on the podcast, you can go first. The floor is yours to pick any horse across the weekend.
No pressure. I'm going to stick with Dollars on Sunday in the Peterborough.
$100 in the Peterborough. Who are we going to go first with? Josh, will come to you, given that you absolutely love this weekend's racing usually.
Yes. We're talking in that here. Yeah, I'm going to go with Santini, 5-4.
And Paul?
Yeah, I'll go with that spotter, seeing Aintree, scholastic for Joseph O'Brien in the listed mares. So I can't get away from the fact there was literally a race next door for him in Punchestown on the Sunday over a similar distance. So with it coming over to Aintree, can't get away from that. I'll take that at 4-1.
Brilliant stuff, lads. Well, I think that's it for this week. Thanks very much again for listening to the On the Knob pod. If you're having a bet this weekend, make sure you gamble responsibly and make sure you're 18 plus. Join us next time.